A Golden Globe winner and Emmy nominee, Dylan McDermott has proved his talent in film, television, and theater. When Dylan was 15, his father met and married playwright and activist Eve Ensler, founder of V-Day and 1 Billion Rising. Eve adopted Dylan and encouraged him to go to acting school and Fordham University in New York City, where he majored in drama. Of Eve, Dylan says, "She was that one person who changes your life. I didn't even know who I was, but she got me, and we got each other." He got his big acting break in the film In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood, and went on to star in the TV miniseries The Practice, and the rest is history. The series earned him a Golden Globe in 1999 and nominations in 2000 and 2001, as well as an Emmy nomination in 1999. Here in Sarasota, Dylan will be taping an online miniseries called Sugar. Sugar tells the story of a young runaway woman navigating the moral complexities of an affluent small city, highlighting the dangers she faces as she tries to survive. People magazine selected him as one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. We at the Power of Love, Sarasota's event to end violence against women and girls, recognized him for being a beautiful person both on the outside and on the inside. Join me as we head over to Sarasota's V-Day event and 1 Billion Rising event, where the Red Couch has an exclusive interview with Golden Globe winner and V-Day activist Dylan McDermott. So we're here at V-Day, and I have had a wild crush, well, on you, but on your mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes
on your
more
mom.
sense.
For many, many years, Eve
Yes.
Ensler, the founder of V-Day and
Yeah.
1 Billion Rising.
Yep.
How did she influence you as an actor?
Wow. You know, Eve was the first person, really, who said to me, "You should be an actor." And she literally walked me over to HB Studios when I was 15 years old, and she put me in acting class because she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And it was, and she was absolutely right. It really was something that I needed and wanted, and it took me a couple of years to find my footing, but it was Eve really who really saw it.
Did she also influence you as an advocate?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I had no choice.
It
wasn't like, yo, I want you to, do you want to be involved with this? No, I was, I had to be involved with it, and she still makes me do it. So
she's my hero.
She's my hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sugar, what is it about?
Sugar has been in my consciousness for a long time, and I think because of Eve, because of having daughters myself, this idea of a runaway girl has always kind of stayed with me, because I think that it's such a great device, because I think people always feel something for a young girl on her own in the world, so vulnerable. And I was really trying to tap into that vulnerability in all of us, and that compassion in all of us for a young person on their own, trying to make it in the world. And I think that Sugar is like many, many girls out there who are lost, and their family situation is a mess, and they have nowhere to go. And they leave and they try to make it in the world. And this young girl, Sugar, ends up in Sarasota. She ends up in a place that has enormous wealth, but also has, there's an underbelly here. Mm-hmm. There's a darkness here that exists as well. And I thought that would be a good sort of duality between the light and dark of this place. And ultimately, though, it's about a young girl who becomes empowered over time. We will see her evolve, hopefully over many seasons. And you know, my hope is that she becomes a very powerful woman because about everything that's happened to her. And there's going to be a lot of bad things that happen, but it's going to be her that rises to the occasion, and she's going to become a very strong woman, like Eve, and like a lot of women around the world who've had to struggle and had to evolve and had to become only through, you know, a tremendous hardship.
So you're the director.
Yeah, I'm the director-creator.
Yeah. Are you also acting in it?
You know, I might do a cameo. We're talking about it. Do a cameo in the pilot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I asked you this before, but I wanted you to speak to it again. In championing, I can't say that word. You knew what I meant. The cause to end violence against women and girls. You are a role model for men and boys all over the world. So what are a few things that men and boys can do to help end violence against women and girls?
That's a great question. I think that's the ultimate question, really, is what can we do? And I really think it starts at home. You know, I think it's a dialogue,
right,
that happens, because most of the role models are not good. You know, there's still a tremendous amount of violence in the world against women. And how do we, and I think that's what Eve is working, you know, so diligently at, is trying to end that and to try to change it, trying to change the kernel that happens at a very young age. But I do think it's like I said before, it's like a grassroots, you know, thing that happens where you have to kind of change your whole thinking on it. And yeah, I certainly had to do it. You know, I didn't grow up that way.
You have 2 daughters, right?
Yeah. You know, and part of that is hopefully they see me.
Right.
And, you know, because, you know, I think that, their choice of men is going to be reflected on how I am with them. If I'm a loving, kind, tolerant person with them and show them love and
Right.
show them compassion, and I think that's all going to be reflected in the choices that they make down the road. And I think that's how it begins.
So this is such a dark topic, and you have acted in so many roles that are dark. You've played good guys and bad guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you kind of turn it off at night when you're immersed in it all day long and learning about pretty awful things that are happening in the world, traumatic things, violence? How do you shift gears and step back into and have a positive approach to life?
You know, it's interesting. Sometimes you have to show the darkness to see the light, you know? And I think I've been involved in many dark projects, but also, you know, light ones as well. And I find that both of them work, but I find that if you can tell a story that has heart in it, like Sugar, and see her rise through the darkness, I always think that's something that people like can't identify with, because everybody goes through it. Everybody has their own story in this room, you know, where they've been through something.
Right.
And it either swallows you up, or you become a better person because of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's not an easy thing. That's not I know it sounds sort of a cavalier thing to say, but it really isn't. It's like at some point you have to rise from the ashes and become the person you're supposed to become, because we see a lot of people who don't make it. You know what I mean? But the story, which I believe is a very hopeful story, is that Sugar does make it. You know what I mean? We can look to her and say, well, if she could do it, why can't I?
Right. So I do ask a signature question always, which is, what is your juicy secret to living a happy and successful life?
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I think it always goes back to love. You know, I try to, I think my kids have taught me how to love. You know what I mean? I don't know how many people are taught actually how to love, but my children taught me how to love. and that's been really my greatest gift.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that you're doing the Sugar Project here.
Thank you.
And it's been really fun having you at D-Day.
Thanks a lot. So great to be here.
Thank you so much.
Oh, sure.
I was married in Waterbury, Connecticut.
No way.
What are the chances?
And still?
Nope.
Yeah.
I thought it was either that or the fact that I wore a fuchsia mini dress to my wedding. I wasn't sure which was the problem.
I won't comment.
World is a